She looked me dead in the eye and said, "Get out of my house." The house I bought. The house I built from the ground up, brick by brick, after our parents died and my brother nearly drank himself to death. And when I refused, she called the cops. But when the officers arrived, everything she thought she knew about her new life collapsed. And this, right here, is why only Revenge Exposed Now could bring this truth forward. Because what happened next? It changed my brother's marriage, our entire family, and my heart forever. I wish I could tell you this story begins with something simple, like a bad first impression or a disagreement over dinner. But it didn't. It started the moment I opened the front door to my own house and saw a woman I'd never met before, my brother's new wife, standing barefoot in the kitchen, drinking wine from one of my glasses, and talking to someone on speakerphone like she owned the place. I froze. Not because I was shocked she was there. I had given them the keys 2 months ago when my brother, Mark, got married. He needed a place to stay after losing his apartment, and I had the space. But that wasn't it. What shook me was the way she looked at me. Like I was the intruder. She didn't ask who I was. She didn't smile politely. She didn't even say hello. She just raised an eyebrow, cocked her hip, and asked, "Can I help you with something?" And in that instant I knew this wasn't going to end well. She looked at me with that casual contempt, like I was some delivery guy who forgot to knock. "Can I help you with something?" she said again. Just her eyes. Cold. Dismissive. Like I was an inconvenience. I cleared my throat. I live here." She blinked. One slow, annoyed blink, like I'd told her the sky was green. "I don't think so," she said, still holding the wine glass. "This is my husband's house." "Mark's." "Maybe you're confused?" My blood turned cold. Not just because she was wrong, but because of how sure she was. She said it like fact. Like someone, my brother, had told her a story so many times, she believed it with her whole heart. I stepped forward. Slowly. "Look, I know we haven't met, but I'm Alex, Mark's brother." That made her freeze. Just for a beat. Her eyes darted, like she was calculating something. "Oh," she said. "You're Alex." "Right. Mark mentioned you." "Mentioned me?" "Mentioned?" I was the reason they had a roof over their head. This was the house I bought when I was 28. Paid off every dime with late-night shifts, consulting gigs, freelance contracts, while Mark was out chasing party girls and racking up DUIs. And she says he mentioned me? But I didn't say all that. Not yet. Because sometimes the deeper betrayal isn't the lie itself, it's the quiet acceptance of being erased. So I just nodded, tight-lipped. "Nice to meet you." She smiled, finally. But it wasn't real. It was that plastic kind of smile you use on strangers at a networking event. "Right, yeah. Sorry for the confusion," she said, setting the glass down. "It's just you kinda came in without knocking. You should probably text next time." Text. To enter my own house. You need to understand something. I didn't give Mark the house to be nice. I gave it to him because he was drowning. 3 months before this moment, he called me at 2 a.m. Drunk. Slurring. Crying. Said he lost his job. Said his credit cards were maxed. Said the woman he was dating, who I now realized was her, was the only good thing left in his life. "I think I want to marry her," he whispered. "She's different, man. She believes in me." I didn't know her. Hadn't even seen a picture. But I knew Mark. And I knew when he latched onto someone like that, it wasn't love, it was desperation. Still, I couldn't turn him away. "Come stay at the house," I told him. "It's empty. You'll have space. Just don't screw it up." He promised. Swore he'd only be there for a month. Swore he'd get back on his feet. He didn't mention putting her name on the mailbox. He didn't say he told her he owned it. That first encounter should have been a warning. 55. But I gave her grace. I figured maybe she was just caught off guard. Maybe Mark hadn't explained things properly. Maybe she was one of those fiercely independent types who gets territorial in new spaces. But then, 2 days later, I got a text from my contractor. He'd swung by to patch a roof leak, and she wouldn't let him in. Said no work could be done on the property without her husband's approval. I called Mark. straight to voicemail. 3 hours later, I got a response from her. Hey Alex. Just a heads up, Mark's super busy this week, so I'll be handling things. Please run stuff by me before sending people over, THX. I didn't reply. I sat with it. I thought about the bills I still paid, the taxes in my name, the deed sitting in a folder on my desk. And I wondered, how far had this lie gone? It went all the way to the cops. Because a week later, I showed up to grab a few documents I'd left in my office upstairs, a room I'd always kept locked. As soon as the door clicked shut behind me, I heard the thud of her heels pounding down the stairs. What the hell do you think you're doing? She snapped. I turned calmly. I came to grab some things. I texted Mark. This is my home, she hissed. You can't just break in whenever you feel like it. I didn't break in, I replied. Yes, you did. You didn't knock. You didn't call. You don't live here. No, I said, keeping my voice steady. I own here. She stared at me like I'd spoken a foreign language. Then, with a dramatic flare, she pulled out her phone and dialed the police. The sirens weren't loud, but they felt loud. I waited in the foyer, documents in hand, as she rushed outside to greet the officers like a damsel defending her castle. He forced his way in, she said. He's harassing me. I calmly handed the officer my ID and the folder. My name is on everything, I told them. This is my property. The older officer flipped through the documents and looked at her. Ma'am, is your name on any of these? No, but my husband owns this house, she stammered. The younger officer raised a brow. Then where's your husband? He's not home, she admitted. Did he tell you this house was in his name? Her silence said it all. They didn't arrest her, but they warned her clearly. I had every legal right to enter the house, and she didn't have the authority to stop me. 3 hours later, Mark came home. He looked tired, defeated. She called the cops on you, didn't she? She did, I said. He sat down, rubbing his temples. I never thought it'd get this far. You let her believe this was yours. I didn't stop her, he admitted. She believed I had something. I just wanted to keep that going, even if it meant lying to her. To me. He didn't answer. 3 days later, I invited her for coffee. Alone. Just us. She showed up stiff, defensive. If this is about humiliating me, get it over with, she said. It's not, I replied. It's about giving you a choice. What kind of choice? A real one. You can stay with Mark. That's your business. But you can't stay in this house. Not if you're building your life on lies. She said nothing. Just sat there, her perfect nails wrapped around her coffee cup. I continued. You've got 30 days to move out. I won't evict you. I won't embarrass you. I'll even give you a clean exit. But after that, you're done here. She didn't fight, didn't scream, didn't defend Mark. She just nodded. And exactly 27 days later, she was gone. Mark didn't fight either. He stayed at a friend's place after she left. We haven't spoken since. Some people think revenge is about payback. Pain. Fire. But sometimes the deepest revenge is simply taking back what's yours. Silently. Powerfully. Without needing anyone's permission. And that's exactly what I did.